Hey guys, welcome to another speed build. So this one I'm calling Suspended Spheres because I really wanted to challenge myself and build something sort of modern. I always go with the sort of traditional family home style, and I really wanted to do something that was different than that. So I got this idea from the Sim stream. She is amazing. You definitely have to check out her channel if you have not already. But what she does is she creates these insane, amazing shapes in her builds. She creates some that represent fire, one that represented an orca whale, and just all these crazy shapes. Her most recent build, as of now, she made an ellipse, which is incredible. So I kind of wanted to do something similar to that. So instead of doing an ellipse, I did a sphere. But what I ended up doing is now that we have ladders, I was able to make them totally suspended in the air. The only thing connecting it to the ground was the ladder. And what she does is she uses an amazing strategy, which she takes a big window or door and attaches it to the roof wall, and then she raises it up. She sizes it down and then she raises it up so that you can't even tell that it's there. Because what I'm going to do and what she usually does is she covers up the very top area of the sphere with she covers it with plants, so you can't even see the tiny doors that are all the way up there, and you'll see me do that in a little bit. So basically, oh, I do that right now actually. So I start low, or actually I'm going to do it in like a second, but I start low on the roof wall and then I raise it all up. So now it does take me a little while to figure it out, but I do start raising them now. See, I size it down and then I raise it up. So that's just one thing that I really got that great idea from her, and I really think it's just amazing, and she was so genius for coming up with it and being able to turn it into these amazing builds. Like, it's something that I would have never thought of, but I think it looks really, really good. And the only small issue I had with this sphere, the other sphere was smaller, so it wasn't an issue, but here you can see those like two little pieces on the side, so I can't cover the entire area with that one door. I end up having a tiny piece on the side, so that was unfortunate. But here, you can watch me struggling with it a little bit, and I do end up covering it up with some vines and stuff and some plants, so that isn't too much of an issue. And if it does bother you, you can always size down the sphere. The other size was smaller, so it didn't have this issue of the door not covering the whole thing. The door was able to cover the whole thing, and there were no little white lines poking down. So that, I thought, worked really well. And here I am just trying to struggle with it a little bit. So I built these spheres as a residential lot, so I meant for them to be a house, and it has 2 bedrooms and 1 bathroom, but it's not a traditional bedroom like you would think. Because I have these giant spheres, it's an open space. So what I do is I have one of the spherical levels be split up into 2, and I have just 2 bedrooms on the opposite side, and they're split up by dividers. So technically they're separate spaces, but this whole house is just open to the air, so there aren't really separate rooms except for the bathroom. What I did is I created a whole terrain area underneath, so that's where I put the bathroom. I put a hot tub, a grill, just some more living spaces to create some more room that wasn't up in the air. So it would be definitely annoying if your Sims had to use the bathroom, and I apologize, but they might be going all over the place, especially because this main sphere that I'm building right now has the main living areas and the other sphere has the bedrooms, so your Sim might be traveling back and forth a lot, and it's kind of annoying because the spheres are not connected and there are ladders to get up and down the sphere, so they might be going back and forth a lot. But you can always fix that if you want to. So yeah, right now I'm getting ready to add plants around this lot. I not only add plants to the ground, I use a lot of debug objects, a lot of show live edit objects, and then I start adding them not only to the ground but also to above the sphere. And one of the reasons I did this, the Sim stream also does this, is because those tiny little doors that you see, I want them to be covered up. So I really try to take my time to cover those up. And right now I'm adding those plants to cover those white lines that the doors left because they don't cover the entire space. So I really want this thing to seem like it's one with nature. I really want it to blend in, but stand out in its own way. Because it would be one thing if these crazy builds were just by themselves in the middle of nowhere, but I want them to sort of blend in like they were meant to be here, like they were purposefully put here. And for a crazy build like this, one that does not really fit into its environment, to look like it somewhat is meant to fit in, I think the only way to do that is to add plants that are similar to its surroundings. So I sort of make this a jungle theme, and I do put this lot. This is on the Windenburg Island lot. I feel like it could have gone somewhere else. It probably it could have gone on a Sulani lot, honestly, because of all the tropical plants. I used a lot of island living items and a lot of jungle adventure items, but I thought that this lot was the best just because it's a big 64 by 64. It's surrounded by water. It has a beautiful view. So I just decided to go for that. And here I struggle a little bit with the stairs because I don't want this major terrain just to move from the area that goes to the ladders to the ground. So I want to make it kind of a smooth terrain with a few little steps so that it's not too much, because I don't like having that major terrain, a major change in that terrain all at once. So I really like it to be, kind of more smooth, and that's why I use the rocks against it, because you can't really see the rocky terrain paint that those hills make. So I'm trying to reduce that, and in doing so, I do add a lot of debug items and rocks just to cover up the terrain. So right now I'm adding the ladders. This is what connects the ground up to the main levels of the spheres. So as you can see, the white main level is what I put most of the items on in the spheres, and the bottom is just a sort of transitioning way, and the top is with the plants. And one thing I had to do to get the plants to go up that high and to fit like that, I had to drag them. I had to use the 9 key to lift them from the main level. Oh, here I am using the vines to cover up some of those white lines. So yeah, I wanted to connect. I wanted to make sure that the plants were able to go up high enough to cover up the windows and the doors that I made. Get rid of the walls that the roofs made, but I ended up having to raise them from the main floor so they would possibly get in the way of your gameplay. So especially on the small one. The big one, it's not as much of an issue, but when you see me furnishing the small rooms, the bedrooms in the small sphere, they do kind of get in the way with the plants, but if you zoom in, it should be fine. It's just a little bit of an issue more on the smaller sphere than the larger sphere. So now I'm just adding a lot of terrain paint. I love the terrain. I think it's one of the most fun things to do because it really just makes a huge difference in the build. I want this build to fit into the environment. I want the whole piece to just be cohesive. So that's what I'm doing. And then after this I start also adding the terrain paint of the rocks, because I'm gonna make a whole little path over here, and in that back corner over there where I'm adding the terrain paint, I'm gonna add a bathroom. So that's the bathroom that's on the main level. I just thought for it to be closed off, it would not be able to be in the spheres, because I want the spheres to be kind of an open concept. And I know with having rooms that are outside during the daytime, the lighting is off because the lights don't turn on until nighttime, but I thought that relatively this build worked pretty well with the daytime lighting, and really the nighttime is more beautiful than the daytime. So the daytime isn't bad, but I think the nighttime looks even better. So I just really hope you guys like that. And I'm just finishing up the downstairs entrance area here. I wanted this to be a nice little hangout area too. Okay, so now I'm building the bathroom. What I did is I added a few little bushes, that you could go to the bathroom in. They came with Jungle Adventure. I just thought, maybe if the bathroom is being taken up, you might as well go in nature. So now I'm just building this. I kind of wanted it to be like into the rock, and the corner of it does go into the rock. So that's where I place the shower, and I love doing that. I got that idea from some other simmers, and I just thought that was great. And here I'm just adding, some basic toilets and sinks, and I love that Jungle Adventure mirror. Now I'm just adding some details to the bathroom just to make it seem like, people live in it, people use it, and I wanted to add enough storage space in there for things because theoretically you wouldn't have any of those things up on your main house because you use it down here. And then I created a little makeshift laundry area over there next to the bathroom house. So I had an issue with these leaves. I wanted to cover them up, so I just used big plants, and I was mostly able to cover them up. Some of them stick out, but I thought, hey, it's fine. That'll just add to the charm of the build. And I was able to cover them up with the counters over here in the kitchen. So I wanted this to be like a super modern kitchen. I ended up moving them to the side, but I thought that was a great idea to cover up the leaves and just to create this super open kitchen. I've never created a kitchen like this, but I really wanted it to have view all around, so I didn't want to have a giant fridge sticking up, so I used the mini fridge that comes with Discovery University, I believe. And I added a dining room, of course, and I wanted to add rugs, but I did struggle a tiny bit with this. I couldn't find 2 rugs that I wanted to be in this room because, usually when you have separate rooms, it's okay to have separate rugs that are different patterns, but I really wanted this to be rugs that were similar pattern but different colors, so I didn't want them to contrast with each other. So I ended up using I believe they are city living rugs, but I do go through them for a while, figure out what I want to do. So I use a rug under the dining room, and I use a rug under the what will be living room. And I add, of course, some lounge chairs. The Sim stream does this a lot. You might as well have some chairs just to lounge in, facing the beautiful view of what you have from these pods. So what I'm doing here, I'm just finishing up this floor area here. I do add some lights for the nighttime. I go around and I add lights all around on top of the windows up here, and then I do add some little candles all around just to light up the area, and I do add some floor lights in the middle. So I just want to make sure that this place is lit up a little bit. I don't want it to be too dark because at night especially it's important to have enough light to be able to see. So that's what I'm doing right now. And I am about to move over to the other pod, and you'll see that what I'm talking about when I mean the plant's kind of covered up. You have to zoom in a lot, and I know it's kind of sped up so it's hard to see, but I did have to kind of zoom in or else the plants are going to cover the entire thing. But I think in gameplay it won't be as much of an issue because you will be zoomed in more. I wanted to be able to see the view of the entire bedroom, so it was kind of hard to be able to do that at the same time and not get covered by the plants. So hopefully it would be better in actual gameplay. So I just do 2 identical bedrooms here. They're symmetrical, so they're back to back and they look exactly like each other. I didn't add too much personalization to it. I just wanted it to be sort of, this just minimalist and super modern kind of area for bedrooms. But I do make them exactly symmetrical. And I really want it to be this monochrome black and white kind of colors because I never do that. I always make my builds colorful, and I just thought I want to try something different. So I did end up doing that. And I'm putting kind of the finishing touches onto the bedrooms. I also add lounge chairs here. So just, plenty of places to kind of relax. This build is definitely a place, kind of a retreat for your Sims to relax in. And so I guess this house can fit up to 4 Sims. So they might be kind of annoyed that they have to share the bathroom. That might be a little bit of an issue, but you can always add another one. You can add some more bushes like I did, the bushes that you can go to the bathroom in. And I think there's definitely enough space in the main area for this because, you have the nice big kitchen and all the open spaces and the big dining table. So I think that would be enough room. And also this whole area downstairs, you could do a lot down here. Like I added a hot tub, I added a grill and another table. So I just thought that, there would definitely be enough room, especially to entertain here. I just hope that it isn't too much of an issue, trying to share the ladders with everyone, because I feel like if people are going to go up and down, I haven't done gameplay with the ladders yet, but I have a feeling that if people are trying to get up and down at the same time, it will be a little bit irritating because it will take them a while, I assume, to get up and down the ladders. But now I'm just adding light to the area. I love these little island living lights because they kind of have fire coming from them in gameplay, so I just thought that was fun. And I originally wanted to go with the monochrome colors down here, but then I decided not to. I left the bathroom the same as it was because I wanted the buildings to kind of look the same, but I went with the kind of brown colors here because I wanted to match kind of the environment down here. There's a lot of plants, a lot of browns, and a lot of green, so I just wanted to match that because, the pods are the monochrome colors, the black and the white, so I just kind of wanted to keep this a little bit different down here and show that it's a little bit more with nature. So now I'm just adding all the things that you would add, for a normal house: a trash can, a mailbox. I do forget that sometimes, so I want to make sure I always add those because those are kind of important for gameplay in a house. But, I do the best that I can and I will always forget something. So now I'm adding some planters here. I think I end up adding plantain trees from Show Hidden Objects because, they look super tropical, but you can always change that or plant some new plants there or add your own from Show Hidden Objects. But I just decided to do a bunch of those because, might as well have your own garden over there. And this is the final build that I'm showing you, and I really thought that it fit into the environment because it stands out, but also the colors just look really nice together. So thank you guys for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed it, and comment if you like this one. Let me know if you want me to do more builds like this. I totally can. I thought it was a fun challenge to do, and I would love to do something more like this. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.